Sunday here in Austin. Beautiful day. Today's topic, expecting and dreaming for greatness. So just dropped one on the IG and wanted to elaborate a little bit more. As I started getting into it, there's topics that I think kind of all play off each other. Too many people live stagnant, and that's just kind of how it is. And life is too short. There's way too much opportunity out there for us to chase, and you've really just got to kind of keep your foot on the gas. So there's a lot of things that go into it, but ultimately, if you just set the bar for your life, set your standards, set your expectations, and dream big, and really shoot for the stars, as they say. If you do those things, you wind up in a place, and it doesn't even really take that long. You wind up in a place really quickly in kind of a cadence to your life that will just set you on a trajectory. I mean, think about it. A lot of people kind of live like this, right? Imagine you make a little change earlier on in your life, and all of a sudden you start doing this. Like, that gap doesn't even really take that long. And something that I've tried to instill in everybody around me, especially the younger people, a couple of my buddies back home, is just change that trajectory earlier. The sooner you do it, and it doesn't need to be when you're 20 years old. It can be whenever in your life. Gary Vee talks about a lot where, he's talking. I think he's like 42 or 43 years old now, and he said he still feels like he's 20, 25. He's got that energy, and I think that's very true. And we're finding, they say 40 is a new 30 or 30 is a new 20. There's a lot of validity to that. You start, if you take care of yourself mentally, you feel fresh, and as you start, accomplishing things and pushing on the boundaries of what you feel like is possible and what you want to accomplish in your life, you're going to have that energy, and you want to be. It used to, like, your career would tail off at 50 years old, 55, 60, your contribution to the company, you brought some tenure, you brought a lot of experience, but you're kind of like easing into retirement and taking your foot off the gas. Now there's an opportunity to contribute at a different level, whether you're more of a mentor, you're guiding the company, you're working on some of the softer background company infrastructure, some of those things, or you're on the leading edge of sales. It's just whatever energy and whatever your passion is. A lot of people now are having a bigger impact later in life, and I think if you can kind of plan for that and start expecting those things and dreaming of those things earlier on, some great things can come out of that. And another topic there is just start a side hustle. You can work and have a career, but have some dreams. Everybody has something that they would love to do, and not enough people go after that stuff. Whereas if you were to do that and say you start a side hustle now, whether that's like, hey, I want to do like an Etsy shop, I want to start an Instagram page, I want to become like a yoga instructor. You don't need to like quit everything you're doing and go do that. You can do that on the side. If you want to be a yoga instructor and that that's your way of giving back, like, do that Saturday afternoons. Start teaching 1 or 2 nights a week. I just think that stuff is so important, and it makes a big impact on who you are and kind of your spirit as we move through the world. So, and especially our media and environment. Get around somebody that's got crazy dreams and goals and hopes for their lives. You leave and you're kind of like, man, you have a different energy about you, right? When you leave that person, and your spirit kind of can't wait to get around them again. And I think that's one of the coolest things about humans is our brains start to kind of mimic each other, and they play off each other. So if you're around somebody with that kind of energy, a lot of people date people that don't push them. Like, what the fuck? You got to date somebody that's going to push you, and then you need to push that person. That is, to me, those are the most successful relationships. Stagnation never goes anywhere. If you've got somebody that's pushing you and then you push them and then they push you, all of a sudden you guys, 2 years, and I think two people for sure can accomplish a lot more than one person. So all of a sudden you're doing multiples more than you thought you could. And then think about how that's gonna play out in your kids and raising them in that environment. And that's their standard for themselves when they're growing up. I mean, you're just gonna raise some amazing human beings, and you put a good kind of infrastructure around them, whether that's your physical home, the environment they're in. Your friends are going to operate on that wavelength, so your friends have kids, and then they're kind of hanging out. Like, it just starts to domino in the best way possible, and it all just kind of adds up on itself. So something that I try to do, and instill in the people around me, have big dreams. Set really high expectations for yourself and expect a lot out of the people around you. It's cool to have friends that are your friends, but the best kind of friends push each other and expect the most out of each other. So take that, food for thought. Let's get this week started off right. And thank you. Driven, like, subscribe. All your feedback helps me a ton. So thank you. Have a great day.